Hi, this is Shane with The Rational Trader, and it is Thursday evening. Is it the 29th? 30th? 29th. And I've been traveling this week, so just this is the first video this week. So let's do a week-to-date review here. Oil and gold are trading live. In fact, I managed to snap yesterday. Where was I? Yeah, so yesterday gold was a pretty nice result to see when you just, I kicked this off in the morning. Actually, I kick it off in the evening because we're trading the euro starting at midnight Pacific. And then just don't look at it until the next evening. And so pretty nice to just log in and see the system traded and, made 450 and 260 in gold and oil with... no sit in front of the monitor and watch effort. I don't want to say no effort because it's been a lot of work to get to this point, but it doesn't, at this point, I just start the system in the morning and that's it. I don't do anything else. Today's result was plus 10 ticks in gold and minus 2 in oil. These are live accounts. The euro was plus 1 tick, but we really just need to ignore this because it's not running the Rev 71, and I just finished that analysis, and so I'll be changing that this weekend. So next week's simulation results in euro should be we want to pay quite a bit closer attention to. This is using that new analytical approach that we described in the last couple of videos. Let's take a look at the week-to-date result for gold. Now, gold rolled over. So here's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So scratch on Monday, a one trade loss on Tuesday, and then 450 Wednesday, which you saw in the snap. I don't know why that shows a run-up of 670. That doesn't look right. That should be 460, and then it rolls to, maybe it's because of this, then it rolls to GCG 9. No, that's not right either. P&L of 100, so that matches that. I don't understand this run-up number. So the week-to-date result for gold is 450 minus 60, 390 plus 100, 490. Okay. And for oil, let's see, minus 160, so that's a two trade loss, and then that's kind of negated the next day. So you're up 20 there, and then 260 on Wednesday, so now you're up 280, so up 260 on the week here for oil. Let's take a look at the gold on Wednesday. Let me find that, hold on. That was yesterday. Is that right? Yeah, okay, so you can see here, this is the London Open, which one of my members is telling me I've got this at the wrong time, but that looks, actually he's right. That should be at midnight. Okay, so we got to fix that. But you'll notice that gold's actually fairly quiet overnight. Though that wasn't always the case. I used to trade gold overnight. Gold's been quiet for a while though. Let's see. So we start trading here at 525. Nothing here. We missed this nice move here. That's unfortunate. There won't be any codes listed because we've since restarted the system. Wow, look at that! Look at that move. It would have been nice to catch that. So I don't see. Oh, I must not have short order fills turned on. Hold on. Chart. All right, now I gotta find it. Hold on. Oh, I understand the problem. So it's because we rolled over and we're looking at GCG 9, and I need to be looking at GCZ 8. So let me load that up real quick here. Hold on. Well, actually, before we do that, this is today. Let's just look at today. So shorted here, and end up scratching after getting what is that? We went in at 3270. Goes to 30, so it goes 19. No, it goes 21. So you make a tick, you just scratch out, and then a short here which is really a nice entry. Wow. It's too bad that we don't take better advantage of that. So what happens here is the system doesn't add right there. Okay, on this break here, this break. I can draw that line straighter, I'm sure I can. But then the market pulls back and we get taken out on the trail. So we make 21 on the initial entry, but we lose 12 on the add. And then what else happened? And then that's it. We didn't get filled there. Okay, so boy, I really like that entry though. I've got a replay program built now that allows me to change the trail amounts, and it's interesting because traditionally I'm the type that likes to give the market room to work. But I found a group of settings in oil that lets you trail pretty tightly and still replays with a really nice result. I've been trying to find something similar for gold, but I haven't quite found it. And part of that is that it just doesn't move quite as much as oil. So what happens is you get a lot of these cases like we see right here. In fact, this is a perfect example this day here. You get this case where the market, it just moves a little bit before it reverses or ends up thrashing sideways. And if you give it a lot of room to work, then you don't make anything when this happens. Whereas if you're trailing it tightly, you do. And so what it comes down to is the percentage of time, or the ratio of small moves to big moves, and that ratio is different in oil. In oil, I'm trailing really different than I am in gold. And yet, even today, I was working on, as I was doing some euro analysis, I switched over to gold and was playing with this trail amount, and very clearly, if you trail by 30 in gold, you do better. You can see that, like today, that would have been really profitable. All right, this would have still scratched because we moved the stops at 10 and 15. So basically, at 10 we move it to +1. But then here, you do the same thing here, right? And then you survive this pullback, and you keep going down. So you end up you'd end up getting taken out at you'd hit target here. So music's still on. You'd hit 1234. I think we're using, what are we using? Open trade window. 50. Yeah. So you would have hit first target. Let's see. Actually, it would have moved it. Let's calculate. This would be cool. So what happens is we do the entry up here. Your initial target is 50 ticks away, so that's 2950. That's down here, right? It's right in here somewhere. Call it right there. All right, but when you do this add, we reset it. We take the average now, which is somewhere in here, like 3280, and we that becomes the new set, and then we move the target out 50. Actually, I think we might move it out even more. We'll go take a look. So it changes the target to something further out. It's no longer just here now. So if it's 50, then from here you're going to go, 32 down to 2770. Which you're going to hit, and so you'll get 2 contracts at 50 ticks. That's $1,000. Let's check real quick and see what we're doing here. I think I'm actually setting that that target move way out there. Yeah, so if I do an add, I set it out 100 ticks from the break even. So I wouldn't have done quite as well here, because 100 ticks is pretty far down. That's 2270. We don't get that far, so we get taken out on the trail coming back here. So it's something to think about. It's tough to see this and see what you could have made, and but then the days where you get nothing but these are really painful. All right, you get nothing but these little moves where you just scratch. Can make it pretty it can get pretty frustrating. So typically the retail trader is preferring to trail more tightly, and you have to just do that a while and get bit by this this pullback here enough that you start learning to go ahead and use a bigger stop or a bigger trail. The alternative is you get your account built up to the point where you just take one off at plus 20 or something and use a bigger trail. That way, on this little move, you still make something. The trade-off, of course, is that you're risking more. Okay, let me load up Wednesday GCZ8 because we rolled over, and I want to look at Wednesday here. All right, so here's Wednesday, and we start here. The market is really quiet, so we don't do anything. And when we pull back up to the top of the value area, we short that. We get stopped out to the tick. That's a little unfortunate there. You can see we're doing the right thing. Just the stop's a little too tight. We missed this nice, beautiful long move here, but we get short right here, and then we add right here. So this is the case where the add kind of works out for us, whereas like today's case didn't. So what's happening is this level here is getting broken, and so we're adding, and then the target's getting reset to just way out there. It's looking for that just monster move like this, all right? And then we get taken out on the 20 tick trail right there. So this one makes 51 ticks on the initial entry. 50 ticks is the normal target, so you did okay. And then it makes 16 on the add. And then we take just one. No, we take two losses in here. So try to get long there, and then try to get short there. So give back 14 ticks of that gain. So that worked out to, what was it, 450 or something like that. But anyway, what I wanted to show is the way this ad works. Yeah, so in this case, the 20 tick trail, you're better off, right? If you're using 30, you'd give it back another $200. Okay, and then is there anything interesting in oil? Let me see here. So let's look at. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Let's look at Wednesday also. We can check. Well, let's take today real quick here. Let's see. So there's the open. No fill here. Where are we at? We're at 51. Okay. So the market, it's fallen all the way from 70. So again, no fill here. It'd be tough to get filled there in almost any circumstance. And now you're thrashing along the edge there. So I like the way that we end up not, this is the big problem here, because all these orange bars mean we're looking, but when the market is rotating around that value area edge, that's dangerous. So we're doing okay now in terms of not getting killed. Because then we take a loss there, down set. The trade management on this has changed, so let's bring that up and talk about that. Open trade window for chart. That's over here. Okay, so the target is 80 ticks. The stop is 7 ticks. Okay, it's a 15 tick trail, and at 10 At plus 10, we moved to plus 5. This is really tight for me. And then at plus 15, we moved to plus 10. And the data just really clearly shows that you can still do well trading so tight. So what you're looking for is, it has, in order to get into a nice move, it has to be that case where you get in and the market basically pops in your direction. So you don't, we're moving this trail out pretty tight early on, and then we're trailing by 15. So even that's really tight. So we'll see actually how that worked out on Wednesday. Here we take a 7-tick loss, and let's see, then we get short there, and we get 10 ticks. We get enough to move the stop to entry plus 5, and then we get taken out before the nice move. So here it worked against me, right? This is a classic example of why I would never have done this in the past. Previously, you'd get in and you'd wait to get to 20 ticks before you'd move your stop, and then you wouldn't get taken out on this thrashing. And here I missed a nice move because I'm trailing that stop so tightly. So your mileage may vary, and it depends on your personality. Let's go back to Wednesday now. This should be Wednesday here, coming up. Where's the open? Okay, there's CL open right there. All right. Okay, so we get short there. And here's where it works for you. All right, so we move the stop at plus 10 to entry plus 5, and then at plus 15 to entry plus 10, and then the market pulls back, and you at least make something. Otherwise, you would just be scratching out up here, do you see? So it's, as humans, we tend to just look at the one that's painful and remember that. But that's why the replay program is so useful, because I can go and I can show myself that if I used a bigger stop in order to catch the move, today's move, what's the impact of that? And the impact is that I make less. Overall, across 100 days, I make less, or I make a similar amount. All right, they're really close actually, and so I would rather have a bunch of small gain days instead of a bunch of scratches, and then a big one. All right, because this is oriented towards the retail trader. Okay, so then what happens here? So we take a short here on when we break through the value area low, and that's a loss for 7 ticks. And then we get long right there, basically breaking through the high, I don't know if that's the highs of the day at the time or not, but breaking through that resistance level at the value area edge. Boy, that's a nice entry. And then just get taken out on the trail for 25 ticks, and then get long again. And the market's done here. So this is a really nice looking entry, right? The market moved nicely. It pulled back. I could see a lot as a human getting in right there. The market's done here. And you don't know that until it happens, but here, once this happens, that's a very classic looking turn signal. Let's see, and is that it? Oh no, one more. So another attempt to get long right there that gives back 7. And I think that's it. Oh, wow, another nice move down. So the market's making nice moves. Okay, so I'm happy to see the amount of opportunity that's present. And it's borne out by the replay program. So you members have seen that. It's also, you can, if you're not a member, you can look at the videos that talked about just the last couple, most recent ones that discussed the analysis that we're doing and sort of how we're going about doing it, and see what the potential is. Okay, so that's it. So week to date, I forget the numbers now, but plus 200 or something in oil, and plus 400 or so in. Oh, I know now. I'm looking at the wrong column here. So the running P&L is what I want, not the run up. I haven't actually figured out what this number is. Okay, so the running P&L is 390 on GCZ8, and then 100 on GCG9. So is that 490? I've already forgotten. Yeah, 390, 490 in gold, and then in oil it's 260. So 490 plus 260 is some number I can't do in my head anymore. 750 on the week. Okay, so that's where we stand. We'll see what tomorrow brings, and then the plan for next week is to have the euro running on Rev 71 with a new analysis, and then that'll be in Sim though still. And then I actually want to revisit the gold analysis, so I'm going to try to find some time this weekend to do that. And then we'll see what's next. All right, because what I want to do is I'm perfectly willing, particularly these cases where you can risk 7 ticks. 7 ticks in gold is $70. 7 ticks in the euro is less than 50. It's 7 times 625. And so, you can do that with a lot of markets, even with a small account. And so that's what I'm interested in doing. Let's find the behaviors that demonstrate some level of repeatability, by using that structured analysis process, and then just trade a lot more markets. Right? I was looking at the pound as a candidate, the yen as a candidate, and those will have different trade times as well. And then eventually the indexes will settle down, and we'll bring them back into the fold. And then be worth looking at bonds. So the bonds are a little bit different because it's a pretty high dollar per tick. In any case, that's it for today, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.